Why would you run? I think I'm off camera. Am I off camera?
No. Okay, I can do this. Hey guys, we're so glad you're back for week 2 of Junior Church online lessons. We think it's really important for you guys to continue learning about God and how to live as Christians even though we can't meet. We want you guys to know that we miss you so much, and we're so sad that we can't be with you in person, but we're really glad that stuff like this exists so that we can still talk to you, sort of. We want to see all your faces, so we're organizing a mid-week Zoom call for all the kids and youth. We've sent out a survey for all the church family, so please fill that out if you haven't. We want to know your availability so we can get you the information as soon as possible. We're going to have games, a lesson, and just hang out and have fun.
This week we're going to be focusing on the second part of 1 Corinthians 13:4. Is that the right?
Yes. You ain't seen nothing yet, honey.
This week we're going to be focusing on the second part of 1 Corinthians 13:4, which is
love does not envy or boast. We're going to look at the parable of the prodigal son, which is found in Luke 15:11-32, and it's going to teach us about envy.
And we're also going to look at the parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector, which is in Luke 18:9-14, which teaches us about boasting.
But first, we need to know what these words mean. We'll give you a little bit of time to think about it. When you envy someone, it means that you're jealous of them and you want what they have.
Hey! Do you like my MacBook? Yeah, that's really nice. When you boast, you're bragging and bringing everyone's attention to your accomplishments and your greatness.
Bro, I got the MacBook. Do you see that? It's the newest one. I got the MacBook. That's how great I am. I'm so rich, so great. Like, do you know who my parents are? Loaded! Oh, I love it so much. Can you believe this? It's so funny how you don't have one and I do. Like, I'm so much better than you, bro. Oh, man. Oh, I love it. Love it. It's so great. It's like it almost reaches the level of greatness that I am. It's that great. So Jesus would tell these stories called parables to teach the people about the kingdom of God. He used things that they saw every day to teach them a lesson. Now first, before we begin, you need to know that these stories are about what not to do.
Here is the parable of the prodigal son. There was a man with 2 sons. When he died, his sons would get all his money and possessions. However, the younger son wanted his portion before father died. So father gave him the money, he packed his bags, and he left.
Yo, Pops, you know how we get all your money when you die and stuff? Well, I want it now.
Okay, son. Just give me a moment.
Peace out, y'all.
Goodbye. Goodbye, son.
So the younger son went off. He spent all his money on all sorts of pleasures. Soon enough, he had no money left. He couldn't buy food, clothes, a place to stay, nothing. He was completely broke. Then there was a famine. There was no food for the son to eat anywhere. The son finally came to his senses and decided to go back home, even if he worked as a servant for his father. He was on the road to his house when his father saw him.
My son! We shall throw a party with the best foods and the best drink, for my son has returned. You're gonna be kidding me, Dad. He runs away. I've been obeying all this time. I never did anything you didn't tell me to do. I did everything you asked me, and he gets a party. live with me. All I have is yours, so we must be glad. For your brother was once lost, but now he is found.
Here is the parable of a Pharisee and a tax collector. There were two men. One was a teacher of the law, also known as a Pharisee, and the other was a tax collector. Tax collectors were not well liked by many people. They often stole money from everyone, including the poor. Now, these two men went up to the temple to pray. The Pharisee said, looking up to the sky,
Lord, my God, I thank you that I am not like these people, like the robbers and the thieves and this tax collector. I fast daily. I fast twice a week for you. I also give 10% my tithes, Lord. Amen.
Then the tax collector prayed, bowing down.
God, have mercy on me, a sinner.
The Pharisee was boastful. He thought he was greater than everyone else. He believed he wasn't a sinner. But the tax collector, he knew he had done bad things. He knew he wasn't better than anyone else. The tax collector was the one who was good in the eyes of God.
You tax collector?
Alright guys, it's time for the craft. If you haven't watched last week's video and done the first part of the craft, go watch that video and catch up, and then come back to do the second part. Alright guys, we don't need the O and the D, we just need the G, and we're going to cut out the last two pieces of it. Alright, now that you have the two pieces cut out, on one of them you're going to write, does not envy. On the other one you're going to say, does not boast. Now you're going to decorate them with any colored pencils, crayons, stickers, anything you want. Alright, so here are mine. My does not envy one is green, like, you know, green with envy. And my does not boast one is just kind of random. Alright guys, this is what it looks like with the two up there. We finished the G. On the 7th week, when you put everything together, you're going to need a Bristol board. And I drew a picture of what it will kind of look like. You're going to have the God here, and then equals love in whatever font you want. That's what it's going to look like at the end. Alright, we're going to give you guys a minute to think about how you saw the characters being envious or boastful.
Something happened to my eyeball.
So in the parable of the prodigal son, the older brother was jealous of the younger brother because their father welcomed him back even though he left. While the older brother, he stayed home and did everything his father asked him to, and he got nothing. But he should have welcomed his brother home too and showed him love because his brother was back. He was lost and he was found.
In the parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector, we saw the Pharisee glorifying and praising himself instead of God. In his prayer, who are we praying to? We're praying to God. But the Pharisee was just boasting about all of his good deeds and how he wasn't bad like he thought the other people were.
Here's what you should do to not be envious. You should be grateful for what you have, because living in Canada, you already have so much, and there's no need to be jealous of others. Also, when you see people accomplishing things and having things that are great, you should be happy for them.
How not to be boastful is to remember that we're all sinners and we all do bad things. No one person is better than the other. No one person has committed a greater sin in God's eyes than someone else. And also another thing to remember is that all of the gifts and talents that you have, whether you can sing really well, whether you can draw really well, whether you're super funny, those gifts and all of those things were given to you by God. They weren't something that you just created for yourself. So when you are doing those things, just remember that God gave them to you and praise them because He gave them to you.
Hey guys, nope, okay. All right guys, it's time for our memory verse. It's the same as last week, 1 Corinthians 13 verse 4. Love is patient and kind, love does not envy or boast, it is not arrogant or rude. All right, let's say it together. 3, 2, 1. Love is patient and kind, love does not envy or boast, it is not arrogant or rude.
We want to hear you guys say it. So, if you want, after this video, you can film yourself. Love is patient and love is kind. It does not envy. I'm so sorry. Okay. We want to hear you guys say it. So film yourself saying it and send it to us through email or Facebook. Or you can join the Zoom call this week and then say it live right there. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We hope that you guys really enjoyed our lesson.
And learn something.
Thank you guys for coming and watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it and we hope you learned something.
Oh my gosh, do you want me to do this?
Thank you guys for watching this week. We hope that you enjoyed our lesson and we hope that you learned something from it.
Our challenge for you this week is to not envy or boast.
And remember to also be patient and kind. Have a great week, guys. We miss you so much. We love you.
Okay, just do another.
Bye,
guys. See you next week.
It was getting a little windy. We waved at a guy in a sports car and he didn't wave back. He was mad about it.
Why would you do that?
Cause
Time to wait at people.
Wait, are
Exactly.
you rolling?
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
You have to tell us.
Today's
I want to tell you.
We haven't even discussed it yet.
Oh, classic.